Alright, let's go ahead because there's lots of good stuff coming. Number 46. Yavanartha udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Anjali, read.
A Brahmana who has obtained enlightenment has as much use for all the Vedas as one who stands at the brink of a sheet of water, overflowing on all sides, has for a small reservoir of water.
A Brahman who has obtained enlightenment, somebody who is self-realized, how much use will he have of the Vedas? That much only as a person who is standing at the brink, at the seashore maybe, will need to go to a small place of water to, let's see the meanings. Yavan actually. Just like, Yavan, just like. No, artha, use. Udapane, well. Sarvataha, everywhere. Samplut, flood. Udake, water. So if you want to put that all part of that sentence together, just like there is no use of a well when everywhere there is a flood of water. Got you getting it? How it's written. Then tavan, similarly, vijanataha, a realized, brahmanasya, knower of Brahma. Sarveshu, everything. Vedeshu, contents of Vedas. Meaning, just like there is no use of a well when everywhere there is a flood of water, similarly, for a realized jnani, for a realized knower of Brahma, there is no use is understood of the contents of the Vedas because for him everything is that. That's what the literal meaning of that sentence is. Understand firstly the word Brahman. It doesn't mean the Varna, Brahma, Kshatriya, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It's not talking about that. It's talking about the one who knows Brahma, a realized person. Nothing to do with the Varna. Now, a sadhak who has done the required sadhana, he has done the required purusharth, he will attain enlightenment. There is no question about it. If he has done the required purusharth, he is doing the required sadhana, he will attain enlightenment. It's a guarantee. And he will be fully satisfied. He will be content. There will be no extra desires or extra things that he needs to acquire to feel fulfilled. He will feel fulfilled. There is nothing more for him to acquire. Getting it? So, Bhagwan Krishna is giving that example of a person, maybe he's in a village and for getting water to drink and for his daily thing, he has to go to a well to get the water. In villages, you don't get the water at home. You have to go to a well. So, such a person has to collect the water and bring it home. But if a person's house is at the brink of a water, on the seashore or a river bank, then will he have to go anywhere to get water? Will he need to go to a well? No. So similarly, he's saying that people need to go somewhere to get something only because they feel they don't have it. That is why people are in the pursuit of pleasure. Why are people running after different pleasures? Why are they running after different things, vishais? Because they think that a particular specific vishay is the one that will give them the pleasure that they are not experiencing right now. And we don't just go to any vishay. We have our specific vishays which we know will give us pleasure. Yes or no? For one person it may be a batata vada. For another person be a chocolate cake. For somebody else it may be some alcohol. For somebody else it may be a drug. For somebody else it may be something else. And we all have a concept in our mind that this particular vishay is going to give me pleasure. And I will go to that one only. Yes or no? Think about it for yourselves. So why do we think that a particular vishay will give me pleasure? What is it that in my mind that is making me think of only that particular pleasure and not some other vishay? Rag and dvesh. We have rag and dvesh. For one person, the rag may be for coffee. The other person, that coffee will be dvesh. So this is our own kind of rule book we have made in our mind. This gives me pleasure, this does not give me pleasure, this is my poison. And the same poison for one person is the pleasure element for somebody else. So, and in different times also, that's also there. In different times, that same vishay will give me more pleasure, and another time it will give me less pleasure, and another time it will give me repulsion also. Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
What's your favorite dish? Sweet dish?
Rabdi.
Rabdi. How many you can eat? Katoris. One. No, you're the wrong person. Huh?
One teaspoon.
इसको नहीं पूछना है
Teaspoon.
तो बोलेगा एक भी नहीं खाएगा
Teaspoon खाएगा.
हाँ you tell favorite dish
Gulab jamun.
gulab jamun how many
I not right.
try na think 1 2 10 how many
About 5.
5 okay then she is on diet and she gives you the 6th one you'll eat na maybe then all these are saying no sugar is not good for you and all planet also not good mine also not good now they are giving you their gulab jamun that gulab jamun which was making you feel so good and you went for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th also 6th also 7th, 8th, 9th how do you feel sick. The same vishay which was your pleasure source is now giving you sickness. And chalo, somehow or the other you had it. Dabake. Then I say, Sanjay, from my hand, you have to have this one. Then ulti will come. In simple words. Okay? So the same vishay which gives pleasure can also give repulsion. So was there happiness in the gulab jamun?
No.
If the happiness is in the gulab jamun, the first gulab jamun and the 10th gulab jamun should have given you equal happiness. But the 10th gulab jamun has no more happiness in it. Why? Because the first one also never had happiness in it. The happiness is not in the object. The happiness is where?
Mind.
In the mind. It is your perception that this is giving me happiness. Right? Ojas, when you were small, what was your favorite toy? Think na. What could it have been? Teddy bear. Today on your birthday, if I give you teddy bear, you will think, what is this? Ma has got no sense. Or a ball, some small, bouncing ball, which you love. Oh, lovely, lovely. A 2-year-old child will love that. 12-year-old child, give me that. What box? Xbox. Huh?
Yes.
What box?
PS4.
PS? 4. Okay. What does it do, PS4?
Gaming console.
Gaming console.
Mine makes me happy till PS5.
Ha, correct. It will make you happy till PS5 comes. So, these objects have absolutely no power in them. They have no happiness in them. If they had happiness in them, you would enjoy the first one equally as much as the 20th one. But the 20th one is making you unhappy. The 20th one is creating dvesh rather than rag. But you are happy, no? You are feeling happy. While having it, the 5th one, at least you were happy. So where is this happiness coming from? Where is this? Happiness was there. You cannot say I was never happy. The first one made you very, very happy. So where did that happiness come from?
From within.
That is your nature. That is who you are. And for a moment, when you had that lovely whatever, batata vada or gulab jamun, for a moment, that desire ka vikshep, that vritti stopped coming up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Till you got that thing, oh, I want this Coca-Cola, I want this Coke, I want this Limbu Pani, I want this, I want. What is happening inside? I felt good. That thing stopped rising in me. When it stopped rising in me, my true nature expressed itself. That true nature is who I am. You are happiness. Sat, Chit, Anand. That's who you are, Anand. You are that. And what is happening is that every time you are feeling like having something, that thing is preventing you from expressing your true self. You know, they say, this example has been given to me many times by my Guruji, that a dog feels very happy chewing on dry bones. Very happy. You can leave that dog for half an hour and be chewing on the dry bones. The dry bone has absolutely nothing in it. Neither it has any meat, nor it has any flesh, milk, whatever, nothing. It's just dry bone. So where is it getting its happiness from? Why is it enjoying that dry bone chewing? The dry bone that he is chewing is cutting his jaw, gum. Is cutting his gum. His own blood is oozing and he is enjoying the taste of that blood. That is why he is loving to chew that bone. You understand? When you are eating your dry bones, your own Atma ka Anand is coming out. Because for a moment, your Vasna Vritti is not bubbling up. It's Shant. So instead of running after the Vishais, the objects, the people, the things, the situations, the conditions, the this, the that, hundreds of things, which will have absolutely no happiness in them, turn your vision inwards and look for the happiness where it actually is. Okay? So when a person, as Bhagwan says here, has realized himself, what is it that he has realized? What is that realized? Brahmana who has obtained enlightenment. What has he realized?
That he is
He has realized this only. बाहर कुछ नहीं है, विषय में कुछ नहीं है, आत्मा में आनंद है. He has realized that. What he will need of the Vedas, what he will need of anything. He will not need, because Vedas are telling him, if you need this, do this puja. If you need this, do this homa. If you need this, do this yagna. If you need this, do this havana. If you need this, do this japa. I have everything. I don't need to do all these things. Understood? That's what is exactly that this shloka is saying. In Taittiriya Upanishad, they say that and somebody was asking this question, good it came. Imagine a person, okay? He's young, means full of energy, fully healthy, very well educated, very rich, good job, good spouse, good children, means whatever is in your mind of highly successful and highly sukhi, whatever that may be. Imagine such a person. Now the happiness that person will be enjoying with all the possible luxuries of sansar, everything possible, is 1 unit of happiness, let us say. Okay, we call that everything as 1 unit of happiness. The Taittiriya Upanishad says that those who have attained Swarg, compared to this person, that is 100 times more happiness. Okay? After all this happiness on Sansar, if you go to Swarg, you will get how much? 100 times more. Indra, who is the king of Swarg, he gets more than you and me who will go to Swarg. No, he will get much. He has much more sukh than us. Brihaspati has much more than Indra also. Okay? So you can imagine, multiply by 100. That is the amount of sukh and happiness. And a jnani in the world, the one who has enlightened, the one who has understood, realized the self, his joy, his anand is 100 times more than all these put together. Because he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need anything. What you will bribe him to do, what you will make him to do, what you will blackmail him to do, he doesn't need anything. He's just happy to be. The anand is flowing from inside. Overflowing. Actually, cannot.
People in Swarg doesn't mean that they've got moksha or anything.
Not at all. Swarg means karo udhar, holiday karo, wapas aao, and again chakki piso over here. Swarg, no person who can understand Brahma Gyan is aspiring for Swarg. We want diversion. What do you call it? Bypass. We want to bypass Swarg and go directly for moksha. Okay? Expressway, yeah. And it's free also.
Freeway.
Now, how are we going to do this bypass and freeway and all these things? This is all the build-up that Bhagwan is giving for the practice of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is the way to reach this understanding. And what is Karma Yoga? What is Karma Yoga? Do you want to hear it now or next time? Now? Next verse.